Hi everyone, this video is an exercise 14H challenge and we want to find a formula to describe the relationship between the data in this table. So this is a very interesting question because there are multiple ways of solving this. And one interesting way that I'm going to solve in this video is by finding patterns. So what I mean is that if you pay close attention to the format, so this is very similar to the form of the usual sequences that you have, because in sequences you have, say, the first term, the second term, the third term, and it just continues, right? So you can call this the first term, the second term, and the third term, etc. So the point is, here you can treat the x coordinates as sort of just the number of term, and then the y coordinates as the actual terms, right? So the first term is 5.22, the second term is 4.698, and etc. With that said, then we can use the y values to find its sequence, because it's actually a well-known sequence. It doesn't happen all the time, so that's why I said that there are multiple ways. And yeah, so by paying attention to that fact, then we can simply solve this. Now, to find a pattern, let's first just see if we subtract these terms we'll get a common difference, which is, the answer is obviously not. Because if we do, for example, the second term minus the first term, then we get minus 0.522, and then the third term minus the second term gives us minus 0.4698. So we can already see that this is not an arithmetic sequence, and in case you might be wondering that this can be a quadratic sequence, which is not going to, but let's check that. Then we get minus 0.42282. So this is not an arithmetic sequence. And even if we subtract this, we can already see that this is not going to give us a quadratic sequence, because the difference here is larger than the difference here. So it's not going to be a quadratic sequence either. But let's check for the geometric sequence. So if we do 4.698 divided by 5.22, then we get exactly 0.9. Next, 4.2282 divided by 4.698, again 0.9. And if we try this for other terms, we'll also get the fourth term divided by the third term still is 0.9. So this is therefore a geometric sequence. And remember that the general form of geometric sequences is the nth term of a geometric sequence is y is equal to a times r to the power of x minus 1. So I'm using y and x in this case because those are the variables in this question, where a is the first term and r is just the common ratio. So in this case, interestingly, we have all of these, right? Because a is equal to 5.22 and r is which is the common ratio, is 0.9, and then we have to the power x minus 1. So in this case, remember, x is just acts the same as n, because in the usual geometric sequence we say that for example, a sub n is equal to a1 times r times n minus 1, where n is just the number of term. So that's why here x is basically playing the same role. Right, so now that we have this, we just need to simplify this a bit, because this is the solution. This is the solution to the equation, but we can just simplify this to have this in a nicer form. So because y is equal to 5.22 times, so instead of having 0.9 to the power of x minus 1, we can simply do 0.9 to the power of minus 1 times 0.9 to the power of x. And when we simplify this, then this becomes 5.8 times 0.9 to the power of x, which is in a nicer form. And that's it. That's basically the answer. And we can obviously check and just give values to this, which are going to give us the following y values for the x from 1 to 4.